Hello, everybody. Or the one person that comes in here in the morning. There we go. I think we have picture. I think we have sound. I have already got a drink, which is, something I usually forget to do. But I took care of that. No problem. These awful salty things that my daughter-in-law gets, but they have no sugar in them. So they're good for you, I guess. Who knows? Yes, as usual, I got up with the chickens. I get it. Got up with the chickens. Took care of everything with the chickens, the cows. Walked the dogs. Got the paper from my mother-in-law. Got her some lottery tickets. She likes to scratch the bingos. Then came in, fed the dogs, because you got to wait a little while, because you don't want them to get that bloat stuff. So fed them, and now I'm out here. And then after this, I'm just going to take it easy, because I've been going. So last night, I've been doing a lot of thinking overall, and because March, I'm coming up on 10 years of doing this. And last night, actually, this kind of started a little while ago. I actually talked to a friend in the industry, which I got a video coming out, I think this week, about. Matter of fact, I've got to thank one of my good friends, Jamie Stegmeyer, a guy who I've got to meet at some point, just because he's always been so kind to me, complimentary, just an all-around great guy, smart, gets everything done. He's sending us a copy of Finspan, which for me I really like because I love to go fishing. If you ever seen any of my shorts, you know that this time of year is like perfect for me to go fishing. Nevertheless, my dear friends, I also talked to a friend that I was talking to, and we were talking about the industry as a whole and how demanding sometimes people can be. I think I'm save a lot for the video, but it's funny. They're in a hole for a game, a particular game, and I don't want to name the company or anything like that because that's not fair. But 1.6 million in the hole, and it's because of people not following through with the things that they're supposed to follow through. Not with the company, but it reflects the company, and it reflects upper management. But when somebody doesn't do their job, how many times, in your lives that you've, unexpectedly, you call in sick or something, you don't realize what that does to certain jobs. Okay, certain things, or when people are lazy or they want to do this and everything else is more important than what's going on. It's really kind of funny how things work, and when you really think about it, you feel sympathy for this company. I really do, because he says it's going to take us 3 years, which we're strong enough to survive it. Another company would have folded up, and we've talked a lot about companies folding up, but the people out there, they don't care. They just want their game. Okay? I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear things that are tough. Oh, here's my son. What's up?
Chill with Robbie.
He'll be fine. He'll be fine. I'm actually going to try to take my grandson fishing tomorrow. Because I'm off on Martin Luther King Day. I work for the military, so there you go. But first of all, hey Brian, how's Justin doing? He's getting there. Where he's got to go for a few more tests. Oh, this stupid thing, is it spinning? Okay, I hate when it does that. He's got to go for a few more tests. Good morning, Shannon, Monster X. Good to see you. But I was watching. I talked to him and I just go, ugh. And he's sending something for me to take a look at. Of course, I'm going to take a look at it for him. I've got a couple other things that I've taken a look at. And I still have people in this business that want to do business. Meaning that, they send things to have me take a peek at it. They know they take the chance of, me saying this isn't good or not making the film at all if it's really bad. I do try, last year I think I was a little rough on some games, but I had to tell you the truth. It's weird. Things are getting more expensive, and you guys are paying the price for it. And if I don't tell you when something sucks, you're going to waste your money, and what's that going to do? It kills the business. It kills board gaming. If something's bad and poor produced and overpriced, you need to know it. And you can't be afraid to tell you it either. But, after that conversation, and then I watched a movie last night that I've never seen. Now, we all know what kind of sci-fi fan I am and things like that. I can quote lines until I'm blue in the face. I think anybody in my generation can. We had 3 channels, and when we saw something, it stuck with us. But I saw a movie called A Shape of Things to Come. It was a 1936 H.G. Wells movie. And it's the first time... this stupid internet. It's another reason why I cannot tolerate. Why am I not getting good internet this morning? I wonder if I should switch over to the other one, because we do have 2 internet systems in here. But it seemed to clear itself up, so we'll go with it. So I apologize for that. But A Shape of Things to Come, I watched. And I've never seen it. I've read about it and things like that. And I was really shocked at how much it kind of translates today. It's a movie that is really 100 years out of time. It was made in 1936, and it could fit today, And it's kind of about war, pestilence, technology. Do you slow things down and live a certain way? Okay, where and rebel against progress, because progress seems to destroy that which makes us human. And yet progress, in a way, and the way it's portrayed in the movie, we continue to conquer and try to reach for the stars. Is the glory of man to reach and conquer the universe, or just live and be able to feel like you live? Because progress sometimes takes away those things that make you feel alive. We talk about these things, how we're here and we don't interact with other people. Okay. It kind of shows that progress does that. Okay. That it takes away from things. Oh, this stupid internet. I really hate it. But, how do you overcome that? Do you, which ones are right? Should we back away from technology, or should we embrace technology? Where technology, the more advanced it becomes, the more we attribute to war. to conquering. Well, we have more technology than them. That means that we can enforce the way we think onto others. And it's the sad part of humanity. And if you take that basic fundamental of people wanting to win and outdo each other, which is part of the concept of the movie, you can apply it to anything. You can even apply it to this genre of board gaming. You got people that'll do anything to be famous, to they'll take technology, instead of just turning on a camera and talking. Well, they'll add all these things in, because all these special effects and cutscenes and this, that, and the other, and so forth and so on, and make things pretty, to get there, to get you to view. Where some people just believe that, well, you know something, I'm here to interact with you, not give you a bunch of flashy bullshit in a way. And it seems the flashy stuff seems to be winning out, which is okay. It's progress. It's progress. If you look at YouTube, 10 years ago when I was doing it, 10 to 12 years ago, it was everybody, the Rados, the Undead Vikings, the Tom Vassals, Rodney in a basement, okay? They adapted, and especially Tom and Rodney adapted and embraced technology as it got better. Now it's like a real life TV show. Instead of what YouTube really was. Julia and I are watching you right now. Oh, there you go. My one of the friends I was talking about, and somebody that means the world to me. They both do, and basically, I'm going to tell him right now that I thought he was ignoring me on purpose because I wasn't technologically savvy. Think about that. No, I'm kidding. They're just people that mean the world to me, that have always been there for me, and have 10 years in March of doing this. And there's certain people that have always been there and been good friends, whether I was small or I started to grow, and I was doing things with the Dice Tower or Board Game Geek. They didn't care about what my bottom line was. They cared about who I was. And I never forgot chuckling with each other, ever since I got that MetaQuest 3 thing. And one of the things that I've been thinking of doing, again, you're embracing technology, which kind of goes with what I've said. Oh, this stupid thing today. You know why? We have storms. We have really bad storms that are coming overhead. So please bear with me as I go through this. We're usually not this bad. But we do live on a farm. And we struggle a little bit with the internet because we have satellite, that it really struggles with, really bad storms. And there is a front coming in. As you all know, a lot of you are under a deep freeze. And it is going to continue for some time, all the way through. But we're kind of on that edge, and where the front is coming down. And when it does that, this is when we get a lot of interference and stuff like that. Like I said, we buckled down the cows and the chickens and got everybody ready because, oh yeah, it's going to be fun. Matter of fact, here's the weather here in Central Florida. And Robert, how are you? Good to see you. It's funny because he can appreciate this because he lived in Florida for a while. So he's up in Indiana. Today will be 71 and 100% chance of storms. Okay. Tomorrow, 52 in Central Florida. Right? You go from 71 running around in shorts to run around in shorts with a sweatshirt, especially if you're from the Northeast. 56, 49, 51, 58, 61, 70, 70, and then that following Tuesday, they're saying 77. Does any of that make sense? No, it don't. No, it don't. It's always funny because whenever I'm given a sweatshirt for Christmas, I'm kind of like, well, I'll be able to wear this 3 days of the year. But, this year, finally, last year I don't think it dipped under 60 once. Not once. It was weird, and we were like, oh, God, what a summer we're going to have. It was hot this summer, but it wasn't what we thought it would be. Storms were tough. The storms were tough. Yan, how are you? Hey, Rob. Good to catch you live. Stay safe down there. Yeah, we will. We will. We're just going to get some bad thunderstorms. But, again, we talk about progress and things like that. Pete and I have been talking about because it's the most, for me, it's the most amazing thing, and yet I feel it's the most dangerous thing, is this VR headset that my wife got me. And I would love to show it to you. I'm learning a little more technology, and Pete's done it for 10 years, so he's going to show me some things. And one of the things that I've decided to do is kind of bring you into that world a little bit. They have this thing called casting, that I can actually take what I'm doing and film it on my computer while I'm doing it. And while you won't get the full feel of it, you'll get where there is a very deep love for it from me, and also this very scary reality, okay, that I feel. And I love the fact that, Pete lives in South Carolina. I don't get the chance to go visit him. I always want to go see him and Richard, but the last 3 or 4 years I've been very sick. Trying to get over all those things that I've gotten over, and now here I am 100% back to where I should be. But it's funny because Richard Launius, the great Richard Launius, has always said, hey, Rob, come on up. You stay the weekend, this, that, and the other. And it's really hard with my job, the farm, everything that Justin's going through, what I was going through, and things like that, to just go, And it's one of the other reasons I haven't been to a convention in almost 4 years. As a matter of fact, I went to the Dice Tower, where I saw the last convention I went to. I saw Robert, and you remember I brought back a bunch of stuff and we reviewed it. That his amazing company's doing, and you don't get to interact with your friends. Well, you put this thing on, and yeah, he's dressed as a knight, but we're standing there and we're talking to each other. Our hand motions, how we talk, how we move. I know it's Pete. And we went on this dungeon run, and it was it takes a little while for your brain to absorb that you are in another universe. Well, it's thrilling. It's terrifying. Man, I could just stay here all day. We had a miniature golf tournament. Okay? I mean, I felt like I was really playing miniature golf. I love miniature golf, but when do I get a chance to go miniature golfing? Well, all I do is this. Click. And I'm there. I'm on an island. We did this Elvis thing, walkabout golf. If you ever get mini golf, if you guys ever get one, you can find the mighty Seahawk 860, and friend them. And guess what? Playing poker. Well, it's funny. I love to play poker, but you also run the risk of getting a bunch of kids in there that are doing all kinds of weird shite. And but you're sitting at a table, and I'm playing with the chips. I'm flipping them in the air, waiting for the hand to get done. So it feels like you're in a casino. There are just so many different things. I played Golf Plus. You're playing the TPC down here, and I'm like, okay, I've been here. This feels like I'm here. And I stink at it just like I do in real golf. Well, I'm actually a pretty good golfer. But bowling, you're in a bowling alley with all your friends. And he invited his friends, and we were doing all this stuff. And I want to share that online. So I decided that, where to embrace a little bit more technology and talk about some of these things and show some of these things. And I think it'd be kind of interesting because one of the games that I really enjoy playing is Catan in VR. Rob, you said you had Vision Pro. What's Vision Pro? You deleted the message. I don't know why. Unless you said something differently. But what's the Vision Pro? Is that something that's hooked up to the computer? The one thing I like about the Quest is I can just sit in my chair if I don't feel like getting up, or I can just stand up and then realign my area. But one of the things that I really enjoyed is they have these board games that they're going to be doing, and well, wouldn't it be cool to do? They have it's called All Aboard, and what's the name of the game? Escape the Dark Castle. They have that on there, and I went, well, this would be fun. Because the setup's all done by them. Again, I always think that a board game translates over to a video game better than a video game translates over to the board game. Oh yeah, sorry. I have the Apple Vision Pro. See, I was looking at that, but boy, that was so expensive. And I let the Queen get it for Christmas for me. And oh my God. I wonder if it cross-platforms some of the games. That would be cool. Oh, it's a standalone. Okay. But, oh my God, I just, it's something I want to share on the channel because I'm excited about it. Okay. And I'm excited about board gaming still, to a degree. And I still want to do that, but I kind of want to mesh in a little bit of this VR thing, because there are things that kind of cross-platform, and I'm fascinated in it. And I'm at the end of that movie when he was standing there because he sent his son and his friend's daughter, or his friend's son and his daughter, out into space through the space gun, 1939. So you got to bear with it. It's the message of the movie, and he's looking to the stars and he's just saying, progress must happen. Things must progress. It's how we adapt. And the guy goes, but we're just small animals in a massive universe. And how he explains humanity and how it needs to progress was very interesting. And I was thinking about this because I always try to keep things without a lot of flash and glitz. Matter of fact, it's funny. I was thinking about this when I first started doing this. Robert was doing his channel, which was The Blue Player. If you ever get a chance, go check it out. And he would do some of these videos that were just glorious. I mean, they were like movies. Okay. And I was doing a little segment where I just had all my friends just throwing me a couple videos and we would put it all together. And here he is doing this work, which is just superlative. And then here I am just kind of Mickey Mousing it, and it just didn't fit, And here he's just like, oh my God, I just gave you a motion picture, and here you are, you're just flipping the camera on and going blah 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 blah, and it was funny because those segments that he did really belonged on a dice tower, a shut up and sit down, whatever you want to do it, because they were just so well done, and he was just so good at it. There were just people that were ahead of their time, and I always felt, because I'm an old fart, that sometimes just getting the message across about a game without all the glitz and the glam is what people really wanted. And maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But I think you kind of fall behind. I've been doing a lot of older games, trying to say, hey, what are you guys doing? Some of these companies just don't care. As a matter of fact, Robert works for a very good company, a guy that I really like, Brian Pope. Arcade Wonders is just as it says, and it's one of Tom Vassal's Dice Tower Essential companies. Think of the stuff that they put out over the years and have done. And then you have other companies that are really, how do you be polite about it? Are just kind of going through the motions. And I can see where people sometimes think that maybe in some ways, maybe that's what I'm doing. I don't want to put the effort in or the time and things like that. But I think my message is kind of different. And yet, here I wanted to kind of show you this other universe. So how do I go on to kind of show you this other universe? So how do I go about that? And it's this stupid internet today. It's just that thing's really getting close. Let's see how close it is. Really bad thunderstorms. Usually they have the radar up. Come on. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah. Here we go. See all that? That's on its way here. Any second now. And that yellow and red stuff, not good. Not good. So, I'm not going to be too much longer here because we're really going to get hit pretty hard. And it's almost to Wearsdale. Yep. Matter of fact, it says it's heavy rain now. And that's why we're kind of going in and out. So I apologize for that. But that's some of the things that's kind of weird. Here we're a family that kind of wanted to get away from society a bit. And yet, we are dealing with things that we have to deal with. I work from home. Okay, I work from here now. Okay, and that's technology. I have a whole room set up, and I've got to have a certain amount. I have a different internet system and all that stuff that the government provides and things like that, which is very secure. And yet here we are on a farm, with 20-something acres. The stupid soda. That we kind of took a step back in time a little bit. It's hard trying to find the balance between those two things, technology and progress, and having the feeling of not letting it control you to the point where you are overcome by it. one point of the movie, and I know I keep on going back to this movie, but this movie really moved me. And if you get a chance, go on YouTube. It's for free. You can watch the whole thing, and you'll understand. You have to maybe watch it twice. It's a lousy hour and 30 minutes. But one of the things is they get to the point where the lives are longer and all this other stuff. After all this war, and you see the ugliness of people, and yet you see the good of people, and it's such a fair balance of it. And the thing that really got me was we don't feel anything anymore because everything's kind of taken care of for us. Okay? Do you have to go hunt your own food and stuff like that and things like that? No, you don't. Everything's made easy for you with technology. And sometimes we lose our humanity in that. And, one of the things that I always felt very strongly about here is showing you how I feel about something. My emotional human feeling about a game, or a book. I just recently filmed, okay, as I knocked everything over, this game right here, okay? How did it move me? What did it do to make me feel special? Why do I want to keep that game? Am I keeping it just because I'm a hoarder? Or does that thing trigger something in me and makes me think of something? Those are the things that I try to convey upon you without the flash that gets the comedy or any of that stuff. And yet, I look at some of these things where that you have so much of this technology and editing and special things that they do and stuff like that, and I go, wow, did they convey the message, or is it very empty because all the glitz and glam really showcase the game a different way? Which is right, which is wrong? Neither are right or wrong. It's people's perception of how things. Ray says, I agree with technology part. You have the knowledge of knowing life without it, and all the great things that exist without this artificial connection. Don't be afraid to get back to basics. That's true. That's very true. But when you get back to basics, you fall behind because you have a generation and a half that doesn't understand that. How many people watched a cowboy and Indian movie? How many people, watched certain movies or understand what people went through in World War II or things like that? The affliction of it, or, people call everybody Hitler now. But that's not what it was about. It was about the bravery of fighting an evil, okay? And they don't talk about how Britain had to sit there and every night, the air raids would go off. How would that feel if that was you today? In your homes and your things being bombed out. Oh, here it comes. Here it comes. Hear that? I hear it. A lot of games portray a lot of things and stuff like that, but even board gaming to an instance, which hold on. Yeah, so we're getting to that point where it's starting to flake out a little bit. So I'm going to wrap this up pretty quick, but this a conversation maybe we'll talk even more about next week is, all these beautiful board games. And the ones that move me are the ones where people put their heart and soul into it. Not just selling me a whole bunch of miniatures and very little game. Okay? Not the ones that oh my God, look at this miniature. Well, okay, that miniature's great, but it doesn't mean anything unless there's a great story behind it. Okay? it doesn't mean anything unless there's a great story behind it. And we'll talk more about this, and we'll go forward. And maybe we'll do a part 2 of this maybe tomorrow, where I can finish my thoughts and some of my decisions on what I'm going to do going forward. But we are going to lose internet, even though it says I have an excellent connection. And it's going to flake out because we've got the storm that just started. So I apologize for that, folks. And, put your thoughts into the comments if you get a chance. I would love to